Let's do another garden update. This area, this trellis, and all this kumara is coming out. The cold weather that we've just had for the last few weeks has killed off the cucumber. I don't think I've had lots of little cucumbers that got this far, but I don't think they're going to mature much more. So that's coming down, and I'm going to repurpose just for the winter this A-frame into these girls so they can put some tarp over this A-frame for giving them some shelter. And I'm going to pull out the capsicums. Oh, I got a bit nibbled, but we've got a couple of kind of odd shaped, where is it? There it is, odd shaped ones on these plants, so I'm going to pull them off. And there's a decent, where are we? Got one there. So I'm going to put them in pots for winter and put them into the greenhouse down there. So I finally had some dry day where I could attempt to tidy up the grass. Carrots are going in here. I've got more carrots to transplant, and these are the ones that are kind of doing okay. Some of them have a little bit of an issue getting going again, but most of them are doing okay. And the weather meant that I didn't get onto those, so they have just, hopefully we'll get them growing. So we have onions and Brussels sprouts in here, and we have had a little nibbling going on. And in here we've got, I think these were collards, and some more onions, and I've got some more to put in that space. This is the beetroot bed. There's more beetroots to go in. Kind of got to the end of the season, so it's probably time to pull out some of these bigger plants. They're kind of like, where are we? I've got a few coming up that are starting to bulb up. And the leeks, these guys are the leeks, and some of them are quite pretty big actually. And onions in here. So I've mowed the gaps, and I've got some cardboard to go down, and hopefully we can stop that grass from growing. There's empty space. Onions have got a bit trampled thanks to cats and dogs. And then we've got the odd potato that's decided that it's going to grow through and things like that. So this is where the pumpkin and kumara was. That's just an empty bed now. These are empty beds, so there's lots of empty stuff happening, just resting things. So over here I had my brassicas planted, and we had broccoli in here, and everything has been eaten by, I think, cabbage whites. But I think that's a start again jobby for that. And then this side we had some Savoy cabbage. Some of it survived, but very much chomped. And I'm pretty sure it was cabbage white caterpillars. There was 3 plants in there, but as you can see they're not doing very well. And that one's, where is it? Definitely not doing very well. And some onions. I pulled out the basil. These have been in a while, but again, it's been so, the weather's been so topsy-turvy, it's a bit hard to figure out. But we're going to have some more attempts at getting some brassicas growing. And these are Brussels sprouts in here, and again we've got some nibbling going on. The peas are doing well. I have a whole thingy of peas. They're growing quite nicely. They're getting quite big. Starting to cling on. Just get a bit blown around. But we hopefully will have a few more peas than we've had in the past. The strawberries have done really well. We've got quite a few that are like this, but I doubt that we're going to get them ripening up now because it's just gone really cold. And so they're all just going to rest for a year. And we've got some around here that are kind of half ripe, so I don't think we're going to get them any riper. That's a bit of a shame. But the weather just turned really cold and everything went to bed for the winter. So in here we've got the new layers, these February, March, April, May, June, May. So they're 3 months old, these girls. And aren't they growing? Aren't they beautiful? And really friendly. So we've got a plan to give them more space, which is going to happen probably when we come back from England. And in here we've got a few more beetroots growing, some more onions, some more carrots, more beetroots. I brought these back in because they were getting eaten out there, so they may not recover, and some more onions. So I'm going to plant up some more brassicas and get some of those out, and I'm going to bring those capsicum plants back in here, although it's not particularly warm in here. So I pulled the rest of the pumpkins up, and pumpkins, we got another 6 pulled up this morning, and so in total we ended up with 20 some more back there, 22 I think it was pumpkins. Some of them are pretty big, and 3 butternut squash. There's one left. We've got a whole heap of kumaras in there, and some more kumara there to deal with, and the rest of the kumara there. So I've got some more yellow kumara to pull up, and then I have to start to get that all stored away. The compost bins are doing pretty well. We've got I've just cleaned out the chicken coop, so this is kind of working quite well. We'll see if it actually composts down by the end of the winter into some usable stuff. So these are the heritage hens, and they're all doing okay. Not getting a lot of eggs from them. There's 15 in this little space, well, 14 hens and 1 rooster, and maybe 2 roosters. I'm a bit suspect on that one, because the ginger rooster, I think that might be a rooster as well. It's looking very handsome. And ginger rooster here has started to chase him off a bit, so, but that's alright, because we're going to end up with 2 groups of girls, so he can go and play in the other groups. I've not heard him cock-a-doodle doing, but he is getting a little bit of chasing going on, and takes himself or herself. I'll have to catch them and check him out, see if he is a rooster. But he's kind of been suspiciously looking like a rooster.